Good evening. I wasn't expecting to be back this soon, but let me read you something. It was published Tuesday, the 6th of October 2020. Oldham Council. Hate crime is absolutely abhorrent and has no place in our borough. It's an act of violence or hostility that is directed at a person or group because of who they are or what they think they are. It comes in many different forms, such as physical attacks, a threat of attack, and verbal abuse or insults, and anyone can be affected by such incidents. Unfortunately, we know hate crime has increased during the pandemic, and incidents may have gone unreported. Councillor Amanda Chadderton. We don't want to let hate divide us. Councillor Arood Shah. All our communities have been through a lot recently, and sadly racism, prejudice and hate crime have crept up in recent weeks. We are seeing comments on our social media feeds, and we are hearing of incidents of abuse on our streets. It's unacceptable, and we will not tolerate it. We will take action when we see it, and we urge others to do the same. That is what Oldham Council and its councillors had to say about hate speech and hate crime. Who would have thought it? Within days of that statement being issued, they would be engaged in a campaign of hate all of their own.
Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them. On 2003, James Ignatius O'Rourke McMahon was elected councillor for the Failsworth East Ward of Oldham. Deeply ambitious, he ruthlessly rose to power, and by 2011, he was already leader of the council. In 2015, exploiting a Labour Party loophole, he became MP for Oldham West and Royton. If only the people of the town knew then what they now know. Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them. Arood Shah, Abdul Jabbar, Sean Fielding, Shisha Bars, Riaz Ahmed, Buying Sweets, Chohan and Mushtaq, Land on the Cheap, Dr. Carolyn Wilkins, Under Attack, Another No Comment, Shabir Ahmed, Glodic Baths, Debbie Kashmir, On the Run, Don't Dare Complain, They'll Call You a Racist Son. The cartels control the postal votes and the paedophiles run free. Welcome to Oldham, home to corrupt councillors and their childhood criminal friends. And in control of it all, at the top of the tree, Jim McMahon, the samosa nibbling MP. Still silent on how he used the funeral of the butchered soldier, Lee Rigby. Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them. Cartel Town. Grooming gangs. Postal vote fraud. Paedophile protectors. Still barefaced lies. Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them.
Good evening. Hadn't planned on broadcasting at all this evening, but I've been seeing something play out on social media the last couple of days, and some things can't wait. And I'm not going to stand by and watch people who I respect be bullied and intimidated. So here we go. If you want it set up today where people can call me on Messenger, so if you have me on Messenger, you can call me on Messenger. Or if you drop me a message, I can privately send you a link. And that link will send you a video link. And you can come on with me and do a Q&A. And I can probably have 2 or 3 people at the same time, apparently. So we'll see if that works. So, what we're up to. This is where we're up to. This is Sean Fielding. Sean Fielding is the leader of our town. Remember, let's start. Sean Fielding is the leader of our town. We want companies to come in and invest in our town. Invest millions of pounds, billions of pounds, give jobs. They will look to see what the political structure of the town looks like and who leads the town. It's as simple as that. Yet, anyone who looks at Sean Fielding's social media feed and who he interacts with will run 100 miles rather than do business with our town. And that's because he is absolutely disgraceful in the way he behaves on social media. Many of you, well, all of you know about him having his girlfriend hold up his ripped boxer shorts while she shared his sexual fantasies with everyone. He even made the Manchester Evening News, who are very pro-Oldham Council, even they were forced to publish this story. Now, what Sean Fielding's done is, over the last couple of months, he's got very, very irate at this account called Oldham Eye. And Oldham Eye, he's been pushing as being a racist account. And I follow Oldham Eye, and Oldham Eye follows me, and we speak to each other. There's nothing racist on that account. And no one will be able to point to anything racist on that account, not that I've seen anyway. So, here is Sean Fielding right at the beginning, engaging with this guy called Ewan Stewart. Ewan Stewart works for Swinton Insurance and lives in Didsbury. He has no link to Oldham, apart from his infatuation with Neil Wilby and Sean Fielding. And he has been engaged in this, partner in this hate campaign. And once it emerged where he worked and which part of Manchester he lived in, he suddenly disappeared off social media or made his accounts private, which is what all these cowards do, who like to give it but can't take any of it. So Sean Fielding is here criticising Oldham Eye, and he says this: given the Twitter timeline is public, I don't know what anonymous cowardly numpties like this idiot think they achieve, not think they achieve, I think he meant to say think they achieve, by blocking me. In the words of Del Boy, 24 carat plonker. Now, Sean Fielding is famous for blocking people. So that's where Sean Fielding is. He's famous for blocking people. Yet here he sees fit to criticise someone else. And of course, Ewan jumps up, one of Raja's racist mates. Because I have racist mates. Yeah. And Fielding can't help himself. Real quality company he keeps. Fielding, at least my company isn't Dale Cregan's getaway driver who killed 2 police officers. At least my company isn't a man who kidnaps a young person, tortures him, sexually abuses him, and the police turn up and find blood splattered all over the wall. At least that's not my company, mate. So here's Sean Fielding right at the beginning, getting irate with Oldham Eye. And here is his mate Neil Wilby, desperately trying to find out who Oldham Eye is. And remember, Wilby at one point accused me of being Oldham Eye. I don't hide behind anything. I have no desire or need to hide behind any anonymous account. And Ewan and Neil are happily engaged in this. Why are they hiding behind fake accounts? And within days, this account opened. Oldham Eye opened. Oldham Eye opened is now a dormant account. It's dormant because it got called out for peddling hate. Peddling hate. And that's why Oldham I got called out. And when Oldham I got called out in this way, it disappeared. And it was inciting hatred. That's what it was doing. And guess what? An anonymous account opens, and the only people who are following it are Sean Fielding, Neil Wilby, and Ewan Stewart. The only 3 people at the beginning of this account opening included Sean Fielding, the leader of Oldham Council. And it launched on a campaign of hatred and intimidation of our townspeople. Why? Because we spoke out against Oldham Council's corruption, and we spoke out about over the grooming and gang rape of our children and the subsequent cover-up of that. So that's what took place. Fake Sean Fielding's first statement, which is an account was created then called Fake Sean Fielding, Captain Underpants, I think he went by, and that's what played out today. One of his first tweets was copying Neil Wilby, and who was falsely claiming I was in court on the 8th of November, and I'm in court again on the 23rd of December. The man is a liar. But here is Fake Sean Fielding. And then the Fake Sean Fielding account plays out, because who replies to it? Sean Fielding himself replies to it. I am shocked. And this is Captain Underpants. Fake Sean Fielding. The problem with Captain Underpants and Fake Sean Fielding is this is not a parody account. This is a Labour Party endorsed account that has been spreading hate crime across this town and attacking members of our public. So much so that it's been closed down today, and the coward who runs it, and we think we know who runs it, has run a mile. But more importantly, this account, you can see, misogynistic, big invisible titties. Who wants the leader of the council? And by the way, Sean Fielding has been endorsing this account on his own timeline. The leader of the council has been endorsing this account on his own Twitter timeline. Yeah, you go and hold your big invisible titties, you idiot. Endorsing hatred. Let me put this up so you can see it completely. My mate Angela Rayner is absolutely top, and he's slapping Boris about like the shithead he is. This account is followed by multiple Labour Party politicians from across Greater Manchester. My mate Angela Rayner is absolutely top, and he's slapping Boris about like the shithead he is. Tag teaming with Jennifer Williams, who is, Andy Burnham's sidekick. Attack dog. When people were going hungry, when the school meal stuff was going on, can't wait for the poos. He likes to call the Proud of Oldham and Saddleworth people poos. Last time, before the election, one of them were even putting up a dog, excrement. They're just disgraceful. Can't wait for the poos to have a go at me for not distributing pizza to them all. This is when people in this town were donating to the food banks because we were worried about our children going hungry. The poos need something new to talk about. My kecks are wearing a bit thin. Linked with this guy, Jeff Travis and Irish Shimmy. Remember hate crime? Bonfire night is soon. Think Raja Mir would be a good candidate to be top on it. Jeff Travis works for, my information is Jeff Travis works for one of the housing associations in Greater Manchester. There he is, encouraging my murder. Where's the police? Look who's straight onto him. Irish Shimmy straight onto him. Here's Sean Fielding. It's a free country, Sean. You don't have to listen to what I say. No one has to listen to what I say, but here he is. Special guest is on a Crazy Talk Live today, reference to me. Apparently they had a disgraced ex-copper on the other week. The disgraced ex-copper he makes reference to is Paul Shilton, who's the candidate for Saddleworth and Western Leeds. He's not disgraced at anything. But you can see, he uses this to attack, spread hate crime. And then he has proxies like this man, Dave Sykes, who then ran away and sent me this, apologising. Dave Sykes has mental health issues. I didn't go after Dave Sykes because people in the Labour Party asked me, please Raj, don't go after Dave Sykes. He's not been mentally well. So you're happy to hide behind people like Dave and use them as your attack dogs. Here's Wilby again with Sean Fielding. You can see Sean Fielding, Ewan Stewart, Neil Wilby, direct correlation, and all three of them followed. They were the first ones to follow the fake Oldham account. Here he is. Last time on the puppet poos leader. This is reference to Paul Boots. It's an attack on his disability. This is a hate crime. This is a black and white hate crime. The leader of the council involved in a black and white hate crime. Here he is again, claiming Paul Boots to be a Tommy Robinson supporter. You seen the Tommy loving builders quote, tweet above the above? Exposes himself as a pathetic attention seeker. No wonder people think he's a joke. He is inciting violence against a member of the public for falsely claiming he's a far-right supporter. We know how powerful the cartels are in this town. We know what these Asian gangsters are like. Here is the leader of the council endorsing an attack. And at the same time, he's crying. He's crying because a disabled grandmother went and legally protested outside his house with a loudhailer. And then it escalated. Remember, this account is followed by multiple Labour Party members. Kaiser asked for an apology because he referred to a councillor using the term wancaster. He also, and I'm sorry, I promised someone I wouldn't swear, but I'm not swearing. This is what these people said. They also referred to someone as a cunt. They made insults to Brian Hoban and a number of other people. Real, disgraceful, despicable insults. Let's get Kaiser on.
Yeah, how are you, Roger? You okay?
Yeah, sorry, Kaiser. I've not seen you in months, Kaiser. So I know we talked, but I've not seen you in months. I'm sorry, Kaiser. I saw you ask for an apology yesterday or the day before, and I saw the reaction, and I saw what they've done. It's wrong, Kaiser. This is disgraceful. But sorry, Kaiser, you tell me. You speak.
I didn't ask for an apology. Basically, so the allegations by the leader and the deputy leader have been that Raji Mia and his followers have been, and this was they never actually brought us into it, the Conservative Party. The allegation was that you people were abusing people, blah, 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 not single arrest. But what I saw was this Labour Party endorsed Twitter handle calling Brian Hoban a cunt, and also it called my Conservative colleague Luke Lancaster wancaster, but it also talked about slapping Boris Johnson.
Yeah, I put that up earlier. Yeah.
So it spoke about violence towards, and look, we've been clear, and I think Paula Sheriff, the member of Parliament for Dewsbury before the general election, a Labour one, and I think she's one of the more better ones. She was quite clear that this sort of language, or while she was sort of having a go about another reason, one of the points that she did make quite eloquently Some of the things that she said in that speech I agree with. Some of them I don't agree with. Some of the things that, and one of the things the Labour Party and Polish Sheriff made quite clear was that abuse needs to stop, and that came after obviously Joe, and I was the Labour Party councillor when Joe Cox, who was a thoroughly decent member of Parliament, was murdered by a far-right.
She was butchered on the street. She was butchered on the street.
Yeah, and she was a good member of Parliament. She was decent.
Kaiser, but she was butchered on the street because a climate was allowed to escalate where one small step leads to another small step, right? And this is my issue, Kaiser, right? Here we have essentially the entirety of the Labour Party, The support on this Captain Underpants account, and I'll show it in a second, is widespread, right? It's completely widespread in the Labour Party. In fact, let me bring that up now so people can see it, Kaiser. I mean, you can still talk, but let me just bring it up so you can see this. Let me play it. Okay, Oldham and Saddleworth Youth, that's the young Labour group in Oldham. What sort of example? Connor Green, senior Labour Party member in Saddleworth.
He's a candidate for Saddleworth North, isn't he? Yeah.
Councillor, sorry, I'm just gonna.
Former councillor Jeremy Sutcliffe.
Yeah, Catherine Phillips, parish councillor.
Liam O'Rourke, I think he's a Rochdale councillor.
Yeah, he's a councillor, right? Catherine Phillips is a parish councillor. Arud Shah, deputy leader with that stupid I can't breathe nonsense following her. Dr. Councillor John Connor Lyons is one of those wannabes in Manchester. He's a Piccadilly councillor now, isn't he? Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah. I would say though, I can't breathe is a statement, and
I'm not. You can say what you want, mate. I'm not having it.
She's allowed to have that.
Yeah, she can have that stare. She is. But I don't want a politician in my town to have that view. She's not in a private capacity. Look at this. Elise Wright, councillor, Kingsway. Elsie Wright, councillor, right? Sam Lynch, councillor.
Yeah, Northern,
Yeah.
I see that. So what I'm saying, Raja, is, talking about slapping Boris and calling Luke, a very young councillor from Saddleworth, Lancaster. Luke, obviously his surname's Lancaster, and then calling Brian Horbin at CUNT. Basically, you know what CUNT is?
Yeah, well, Natalie Howarth. She's got some link to the council, hasn't she? NCA Alliance, NHS Oldham. All views my own.
Yeah, but I'm seeing all these ladies on this, and it worries me that the female genital part is used as an insult to insult.
So you know her, Hannah Roberts, Labour councillor for Royton North.
Yeah, I know Hannah Roberts. Yeah. To be honest with you, Hannah Roberts wouldn't engage in such language.
No, I don't care, mate. She shouldn't be following you. You're too polite, right? You know, you and I have conversations offline, and then you come on and you're really polite, and you want to play this middle ground politician role. You can play that if you want, Kaiser. I'm not playing that.
Yeah,
this is outrageous. I'll tell you why this is outrageous. This is the leader of the council and his close cabal of associates following an account that is out there spreading hate crime.
Yeah,
that is outrageous, and that hate crime leads to violence against private citizens because it endorses it. When a councillor endorses it, it means a nutter can go out and attack someone.
Obviously, Connor Green has kicked up a fuss, and all I wanted to know was what's
Connor Green done? What's Connor? Because I've not met him. He's the Saddleworth North candidate, isn't he? For the Labour Party.
I wanted to know, number one, who he is, where he's standing.
He's also the brand secretary. He's also the brand secretary.
Also, when we cottoned on that this Twitter handle is spouting out outrageous abuse, calling people a CUNT, calling Luke Lancaster a WANKER, in other words, talking about slapping members of parliament. I wanted to know why all of a sudden, when I started putting pressure on these people, that this person disappeared. That's what I wanted to know. Obviously, what was happening here is creating a hostile environment for opposition politicians like myself. When I stuck up for Luke, I started questioning why they're talking about slapping Boris and why they're calling Luke Lancaster and calling Brian Horbin a CUNC.
They threw a pig's head through the window of your family home. It was a
Yeah, and
hate
then
crime. Did a
yeah, and
single
then said
Labour Party councillor make
yeah.
any form of public statement condoning what took place?
No, I think the Labour
Oh, it's a
Party
yes or a
branch.
no, no, yes or no, Kaiser. Did a single Labour Party, did Sean Fielding, did Arud Shah, all of these people who stand next to the hate crime...
The Labour Party branch in Medlock Vale stood by me, and that was the right thing to do. And I was a Conservative,
So, but were the councillors condemning it? Where were the councillors condemning it?
well, I think there was a lot of people in the Werneth ward and the Medlock Vale ward
Kaiser,
that were on
stop
my
being a
side.
politician. Where were the Labour
Yeah.
Party councillors condemning it? Did the leader
Well,
of Oldham Council...
I wanted two people in particular to stand by me, not because we agree on everything, but my member of parliament and leader of council did not speak about the attack on my home. In the morning, the regional Conservative Party was made aware that, and this was without me knowing, that Luke Lancaster has been abused the way he has, and this abuse has started since they took a position on child sexual exploitation.
Which is why I'm here. Which is why I'm here. Which is why I'm backing you guys. Which is why I'm here, because you back me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the sole reason Luke Lancaster was attacked, it was because John Hudson seconded that motion, and let's be clear. And then about him,
this account was followed by Young Labour in Oldham.
Yeah.
What sort of example does that set to the would-be young politicians who in the Labour Party when the leader of the council engages with an account that refers to people as Wancaster and calls them cunts? Sorry, I don't care about using that language when they're using it. They also want to give the Prime Minister a good slapping.
Well, it looks like the leader of the council needs to go on training, doesn't he, on how to behave, or basically the Labour Party in Oldham needs to change their leader, because quite clearly, for him to engage with Captain Underpants and basically behave very immaturely. I mean, it's cringeworthy just looking at how they behave. He's a leader of our council. Look, he can attack us. We're members of the public. We could almost say, within reason, we can say what we want. But this is the leader of the council representing 250,000 people, supposed to be bringing in investment, supposed to be making lives better for people. But he's there endorsing, a page that's calling people cunts and wankers. I mean, there's going to be primary school kids and secondary school kids that will be looking up to him. That's not what we expect from our leader. I'm sure you agree with me.
I think for a town that has just bought a shopping centre, that is in desperate need of investment, the leader of the council, along with senior councillors in the town, and statesmen in the town, Jeremy M.T. Sutcliffe, or whatever his initials are, was Jim McMahon's parliamentary agent. He's a veteran councillor, or former councillor. These people endorsing an account that engages on hate crime. If I was an investor, I'd run a mile. I'd run 100 miles. I would not want to come anywhere near this town that's run by these people, with the cloud of child sex grooming, with the cloud of dodgy land deals all over the place. This is a town that is absolutely in a mess, and it's in a mess because of Sean Fielding. Let me do that. All right, I'm back to how I was. So let's see if we can get anywhere. So yeah, no, that was it really. Kaiser wanted to come on, and Kaiser being Kaiser was a lot more reserved when he did come on. But the truth of the matter is, that internet account, that Twitter account, is a hate crime, and the police really should be investigating it. And the Labour Party should be issuing a statement of what their links are to that account, the Captain Underpants account, and the Oldham Eye reopened or opened account that were created, where the leader of the council followed it and where his associates followed it. That is out of order. What took place with that account and how it then attacked other members of the public and other politicians is is genuinely, it's just out of order. It's just out of order what took place there. So, yeah, I think it's very, very clear. Captain Underpants' its account and the following of that account by multiple Oldham politicians, Greater Manchester Labour Party councillors, public servants who hold, civil servants who hold jobs in public office, paid for by the taxpayer, brazenly following an account that endorses harm, endorses violence on the Prime Minister, and then refers to local politicians in a disgraceful way. It's just, yeah, welcome to Oldham.
Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them.